Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Surbhi Sharma. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Thursday, the 6th of December. Pakistani opposition leader Shehbaz Sharif sent to jail on judicial remand. Security situation in Afghanistan remains difficult, says NATO chief. And Madhesi leader threatens to withdraw support to Nepal's Oli government. And now for all the details. Pakistani opposition leader Shehbaz Sharif was sent to jail on judicial remand on Thursday as the Accountability Court rejected National Accountability Bureau or NAB's plea to further extension in his physical remand. Sharif was in National Accountability Bureau's custody since October 5th for interrogation in a low-cost housing scheme case. An accountability court on Thursday sent Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz or PMLN President Shehbaz Sharif to jail on judicial remand for alleged corruption in a low-cost housing scheme. The leader of the opposition in the National Assembly, Shehbaz Sharif, has been in custody since October 5th for interrogation in connection to the Ashiana housing scheme case. The National Accountability Bureau or NAB has accused that Sharif, in 2014 when he was Chief Minister of Punjab Province, illegally cancelled a contract with the construction company and sought to award it to another company for a bribe. However, the NAB prosecutor failed to provide satisfactory answers, after which the court rejected the request for a further extension in physical remand and ordered that Sharif be sent to jail on judicial remand. The PMLN president will be presented before the court again on December 13th. More on to news from Pakistan. US Special Envoy Zalmay Khalilzad on Wednesday met Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan in Islamabad as a part of his multi-nation tour to promote peace in Afghanistan and convince the Taliban to join negotiations. The Pakistani Prime Minister said Islamabad would do whatever possible to help Washington negotiate with the Taliban.
US Special Envoy Zalmay Khalilzad on Wednesday paid a courtesy call on Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan in Pakistan's capital Islamabad. During the meeting, Khan said Pakistan would do whatever possible to help Washington negotiate with the Taliban, reports suggest. Pakistan had earlier on Tuesday assured the visiting US Special Representative that it would back a negotiated settlement with the Taliban to end the long war in Afghanistan after President Donald Trump personally asked for Islamabad's help. Khalilzad's visit to Pakistan came a day after Pakistani officials confirmed that Trump had written to Prime Minister Imran Khan seeking assistance in moving the peace talks forward. Relations between uneasy allies United States and Pakistan have frayed in recent years, with Washington accusing Islamabad of sheltering militants who stage attacks in Afghanistan. Pakistan denies doing so. The Trump administration has frequently asked the new government of Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan to adopt aggressive measures that blunt the influence of Afghan Taliban on the Pakistani side of the Afghan border.
Moving on, the growing roots of terrorism in South Asia concerns the world. Be it the Taliban or the Islamic State, these terror outfits are getting stronger with the backing of states and security forces. Recently, experts and academics in Amsterdam expressed concern over growing radicalization and terror groups in Pakistan.
Experts and academics during a seminar in Amsterdam city earlier this week deliberated on the development and future of terrorism in South Asia and expressed concern over the growing level of radicalization in Pakistan. The panelists said countries like Pakistan have been using dreaded terrorists as its proxies against India and Afghanistan, and said the nexus between state and non-state actors is a challenge to deal with. They also highlighted the role of the Pakistan Army in sponsoring terrorist groups and facilitating access of radical outfits into Pakistani politics.
The particular issue of radicalisation, how radical groups evolve, which in Pakistan has a very distinct background where obviously elements within the state have been quite supportive of those groups, those traditions.
Experts have long raised concerns as Pakistan has only acted against terror groups that develop an anti-Pakistan agenda and are considered a threat to the regime. Islamabad's treatment of good and bad terrorists concerns regional security and safety.
NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg has said it is in the interest of the NATO and international peace to prevent Afghanistan from ever again becoming a safe haven for terrorism. The NATO's chief also said that apart from all the countries, Pakistan too has to support the Afghan peace.
NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg on Wednesday said that it is in the interest of NATO and international peace to prevent Afghanistan from ever again becoming a safe haven for terrorism. Addressing a press conference after a ministerial meeting in Brussels, the NATO chief called on all countries to play a constructive role in the Afghan peace process and said that Pakistan too has to support the process. He also recalled the ceasefire between the Afghan government and the Taliban this year and expressed concern about the high number of casualties.
We are in Afghanistan to help the Afghan people, but we are also in Afghanistan to help ourselves. We are there to fight international terrorism and to prevent Afghanistan from ever again becoming a safe haven for international terrorism. This is in our own interests.
The assurance of support by NATO comes at a time when during recent weeks, the US has extended its efforts to bring the Taliban to the negotiating table, aimed at ending the 17-year-long conflict in Afghanistan. NATO already has over 16,000 troops in Afghanistan within the structure of Resolute Support Mission, and their role is to assist, advise and train the Afghan security forces.
Afghanistan's former president Hamid Karzai has said he sees the country in a highly sensitive stage of the history, asking the Afghan people to take care of the recent peace efforts initiated by the United States. While addressing a public gathering, Karzai also expressed that the US should not deal with Pakistan on the Afghan peace.
Former Afghan President Hamid Karzai on Wednesday said he sees Afghanistan in a highly sensitive stage of the history, asking the Afghan people to take care of the recent peace efforts initiated by the US. He said that the peace efforts should not be carried out in secret from the eyes of the Afghan people and that the US should not deal with Pakistan on the Afghan peace. Karzai made the remarks while speaking at the gathering in capital Kabul city, marking the 90th birth anniversary of famous Afghan philosopher Syed Bahauddin Majroh.
ما کاملا تفکیک ازیر میکنیم که صلح افغانستان چیست و معامله بین امریکا و پاکستان چیست. از این معامله‌های بیرونی بوده که مملکت ما بدبخت شده.
Karzai also suggested that the Afghan government should designate a national peace delegation to conduct the peace talks with the Taliban. He said that the US and Russia should coordinate their peace efforts.
Moving on to news from Nepal, senior leader of Rashtriya Janata Party Nepal, Lakshman Lal Karna, on Tuesday warned that his party would withdraw support to the government after 4 days for its failure to amend the constitution and address the demands of Madhesis.
Leader of Rashtriya Janata Party Nepal or RJPN, Lakshman Lal Karna on Tuesday warned that his party would withdraw its support extended to the government after 4 days on the pretext that the current regime has failed to amend the constitution and address the demands of the Madhesis. Karna said that there is no point in supporting the incumbent government as no discussions have taken place regarding the constitution amendment and withdrawal of cases filed against his party leaders and cadres during the Madhesi movement. The main concern of RJPN has always been the rights of the Madhesis in Nepal's constitution through its amendment. The RJPN had given support to the government in Nepal on the condition that the constitution would be amended, on which Karna said the government has failed. A previous attempt by RJPN to amend the constitution had failed, lacking a clear majority of 2/3 in the previously dissolved parliament in 2017.
In a bid to revive cultural activities among the youth, a folk dance show was recently organized in Srinagar city of India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province. A traditional dance form called Rof was also performed during the event, which enthralled the audience. Authorities in Srinagar city of India's northern Jammu and Kashmir recently organized a dance show for the revival of traditional and age-old folk dance known as Rof in local language. Rof, performed by Kashmiri women, is considered as one of the most prominent dance forms in the Kashmir Valley. The dance form has always been an element of Kashmiri life since its primeval times and is mainly carried out in order to welcome spring season.
जैसे हमारी माँ है, माँ को कौन भूल सकता है, तो इसी तरह ये चीज़ें, कुछ ऐसी चीज़ें हैं म्यूज़िक में, जैसे रुफ है, बांडपत्र है, ये चीज़ें भूल गए हैं लोग, तो उसी को रिवाइव करने के लिए एक कड़ी थी मेरी।
सर बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है हमें यहाँ आके रुफ करके। हमने जैसे कि देखा कि हम अपने ट्रेडिशनल जस्ट लाइक वेस्टर्न कल्चर को हम ज़्यादा प्रायोरिटी देते हैं एज़ कम्पेयर टू रुफ से। हमने आज तक कभी रुफ नहीं किया था, फर्स्ट टाइम हमारा रुफ है, तो हमें एक अच्छा कंसेप्ट मिला रुफ के बारे में। आई होप सबको रुफ करना चाहिए बिकॉज हमें इससे कश्मीरी कल्चर पता चलता है।
The rich heritage of Kashmir includes many famous dances that are presented on all the major occasions like weddings, birthdays and even on harvesting crops. But due to the adoption of a Western culture, such type of heritage activities have lost their glory, which authorities are now aiming to revive for the future generation. An international sand art festival was recently organized in India's eastern Konark town, in which sand artists from all over the world presented their artwork. The festival witnessed huge participation of visitors who appreciated the well-carved sand sculptures made by the artists.
The 8th edition of the International Sand Art Festival concluded on Tuesday in Konark town of India's eastern Odisha province, in which sand artists from across the globe presented their artwork. The 5-day-long festival witnessed the participation of over 100 artists from the United States, Japan, Spain and Sri Lanka who made well-carved sand sculptures on the Chandrabhaga beach. Scores of visitors thronged the festival to see the sand arts made by the renowned sand artists including Sudarshan Patnaik and Dan Doubleday. The sand arts on the ongoing Men's Hockey World Cup and sand sculptures showing cultures of various countries were major attractions of the festival.
ये 8 इंटरनेशनल सैंड आर्ट फेस्टिवल है, जहाँ पर ये भारत वर्ष में हमारा सबसे बड़ा सैंड आर्ट फेस्टिवल है, जहाँ पर इस साल मोर देन 100 आर्टिस्ट पार्टिसिपेट किए हैं। 6 डिफरेंट कंट्रीज से आए हुए हैं, यूएस, हॉलैंड, स्पेन, श्रीलंका, जापान, ये सब कंट्री से पार्टिसिपेट किए हैं। उसके साथ हमारा देश से भी जो डिफरेंट स्टेट है, अराउंड 10 आर्टिस्ट आए हुए हैं इसमें।
Oh, it's beautiful. I like the people. It's been fun. The people are so colorful and so friendly, and it's been a pleasure to be here.
Not only sand art, the festival also presented a blend of classical music, dance and a photo exhibition. The festival is held on Chandrabhaga beach, a short distance from famous Konark Sun Temple. Due to its proximity to the temple, the event witnesses huge influx of tourists from all over the world.
Well, that's all we have for you from South Asia this evening. Now our viewers can watch the show on southasianewsline.com. You can also visit us on facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.